Good morning, my friends. Welcome to the Buddha Joy Meditation School. My name is Lama Jigme Gyatso, and you're not. Okay, so I'm going to quickly scamper into the share screen mode because who wants to stare at this mug? All right. Look, it's Buddha Kitten going to Nirvana. Be right back. You gotta love the imperious nature of cats. If there's a pleasure to be found, it's theirs by birthright. So, there's a great Tibetan saint who lived in the 1800s. As a young man, he wrote a very fundamentalist commentary on the Ngondro practice entitled Words of My Perfect Teacher. However, many decades later, one of his last literary works was a commentary called was a meditation manual called The Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones. And for many years, I've taken that as my primary practice guide upon the path to enlightenment. In today's class, we're going to chant our way through the second quarter of the text, and we'll come across a passage which says that sadhanas and invocations are just complications, and all that is required is the 6-syllable mantra. Consequently, I just, in every practice session that I do, I start by chanting a quarter of the manual. I quickly intend that all beings everywhere practice the path that I'm about to practice, and then I just start meditating. And then after the meditation, I conclude with a very similar prayer, and that's it. Super simple, just the way Patur Rinpoche intended. Now I have to add that his first text as a young man that he wrote was very fundamentalistic. As an old man, one of his last texts was very liberal, and that really captured my imagination. Upon the Buddha's path to enlightenment, there are 10 bodhisattva bhumis, the 11th one being full enlightenment. And if one enthusiastically follows the fundamentalist path, one cannot go beyond the third bhumi, one level. However, if one practices the liberal path, one can sprint to the 11th bhumi. According to some texts, that can happen in as little as a week. So I have found Patrul's text to have basically thrown a brick through the plate glass window of the preconceptions I developed when I was a Buddhist fundamentalist. And to refer to the Disney movie Aladdin, it opened my eyes to a whole new world. So that's going to be our practice. And if you wish to develop a mastery that will not necessarily make you a scholar, but will make you a Buddha, which is much more important, then I recommend you to acquire a translation of this root text. If you see me, I'll gladly send you a copy for free via PDF, although my comments on it are still pretty raw and not perfect. You're welcome to my copy. If you're a student participating in this live webinar, you already have a copy. In fact, you have several versions already at home, gathering dust upon your hard drive. Having said that, let's dig right in. We're going to open up the Patrul's Last Manual. And so I invite everyone to mute their microphones. And let's begin by chanting a portion of the Dalai Lama's introduction to the text. It comprises all the essential instructions, and because of the profound meaning it contains, And the beautiful language in which it is expressed, it really is like an elixir for reviving the dead. The Dalai Lama comes from the Gelug sect, which is based on the teachings of the late Tibetan sage Lama Tsongkhapa. Lama Tsongkhapa wrote a very fundamentalist treatise on the Buddhist path called the Lamrim Chenmo. And so when the Dalai Lama refers to a text as containing all the essential instructions, that is really saying something. Let's jump forward in the text. Now, this text has been adapted. This text was originally written for the Yidam Chainray Zig. I have adapted it for the Yidam Red Tata. And which most fundamentalists would take umbrage with. Hopefully, if you are my students, you are a practitioner of the liberal path and you have no problem with it. The only question for a liberal is not how old is it, not how rigid is it, and not who likes it. The only question for a liberal is how effective is it? Let's find out. Let's start chanting right now using the bookend chant. The whole treasure of the enlightened ones, the practice of your meditation and action, a discourse virtuous and the beginning, middle, and end. Untitled Chapter, may all beings benefit. So if you're a returning student, you'll notice that this 6-syllable mantra, the sequence of the syllables has been altered. This is a variation, and we'll explore it a bit further a little bit later in the lesson. I just didn't want to surprise you. Let's continue. O fount of compassion, my root teacher, Lady Red Tata, you are my only protector. The 6-syllable mantra, essence of your speech is the sublime Dharma. From now on, I have no home but you. The tradition in Tantric Buddhism of Tata practice or Tata propitiation is as old as Buddhist Tantra. There are, Tara basically means heroine or female savior or rescuer, and there are many, 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 many versions. This one is red, and it has 6 syllables, which is very cool. According to Buddhist mythology, Tara is an emanation of Chenrezig. Zeke. And the very fact that the mantra of this version of Tara that we're using also has 6 syllables puts her in extra harmony with Chenrezig. Now we start off with this part right here. Fount of compassion, my root teacher, Lady Red Tata, you're my only protector. This is seeming, from a fundamentalist point of view, this might be saying, hey, your teacher is an emanation of Red Tata. And a basic difference between a fundamentalist and a liberal is a fundamentalist will take that literally, a liberal will take that figuratively. Let's read on and see how the text plays out. Whatever I know, I have left it as Siri, it is no use to me now. Whatever I have done, I have spent on this life, it is no use to me now. Whatever I have thought was all just illusion, it is no use to me now. Now the time has come to do what is truly useful, recite the 6-syllable mantra. This passage is extolling the humility that has the courage to take all one's preconceptions, put them in a pretty box, and put that imaginary box upon an imaginary shelf. We're not destroying them, we're not throwing them away, we're just getting them out of the way to make room for fresh perspectives. The only never failing constant refuge is the three jewels. The three jewels' single essence is Ratana. With total unshakable trust in her wisdom, convinced and decisive, recite her six-syllable mantra. At this point, you've seen Ratana being equated with our teacher and also being equated with the three jewels. Let's have a quick pop quiz. Olaf, please open your microphone and tell me and enumerate what the three jewels are. Just enumerate them.
I should say Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, but I can't.
Perfect.
Don't really.
Gold star for Olaf. Well done, my friend. Patricia, please explain how one takes refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha from a liberal perspective.
You don't take it with absolute fundamentalist rigidity. You take it as the Buddha being may or may not have existed, but is still something that can inspire you. The Dharma is the teachings that came from the Buddha, which inspires us. And the Sangha is a group of people that we share these belief systems with.
Right, and to put it perhaps simply, the Buddha, real or imagined, is an inspiring example that a human can become much more. The Dharma are instructions on how to become a Buddha. The test of the Dharma is not how popular the instructions are or how old they are, but simply how effective they are. That is the only test of anything. The third facet is the Sangha. So for instance, it's so nice to find a man or woman practitioner who is on the same path as us, who has more experience and time on the path than us, who can help us. So hopefully that is your teacher. Your teacher is someone upon the path and who is helping you, guiding you, assisting you on the path. That's it. How do we take refuge in the triple jewel? By relying upon an example, by relying upon instructions, and by relying upon guidance. Super simple. As I like to say, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Patricia, please mute your microphone. Let's continue. The basis of the Mahayana path is a thought of enlightenment. This sublime thought is a one path trodden by all the Buddhas, never leaving this noble path of the thought of enlightenment. With compassion for each being, recite the six-syllable mantra. Thought of enlightenment can be translated into Sanskrit as bodhicitta. There's conventional bodhicitta that deals with love. There is ultimate bodhicitta that deals with letting go. How do we know this passage is about love? Because of this word right here, compassion. There are many people and many who've written many prayers of the ages that many people try to recite in an effort to inspire love for others. Don't worry about that. When we get to the mantra meditation portion, we're going to use 16 meditations that will strengthen our love of others. So at this point, let's continue. Wandering in samsara from beginningless time until now, whatever you have done was wrong and will lead to further wandering. From your heart acknowledge all wrongdoing and downfalls, and confessing them with all our powers complete recite the six-syllable mantra. Classically, what are the four powers? The four powers are object of confession, or I should say, object of confession, remorse, resolve not to screw up anymore, and antidote. As a fundamentalist, we confess before an image of a yadam, or perhaps before a teacher, real, imagined, or just photographically present. And we confess whatever sins specifically come to mind, or from a list of sins We metaphorically beat our chest in regret, yearn to do much better, frighten ourselves with promises of hell, and then recite mantra. But from a liberal point of view, we take a much different approach. Spoiler alert, in a few passages we'll see that not only is Red Tata the three jewels, and not only is Red Tata our teacher, but Red Tata is also our mind. Our teacher is our mind. Our ultimate teacher is our mind. Our conventional teacher is our external teacher who helps us discover our own mind. And what that means is this: rather than practicing in a contrived manner or chaotic manner, we practice from a place of centered spontaneity. And when thoughts come up that show our uglier actions or our uglier intentions, instead of justifying, minimizing, rationalizing, or fatalizing, we choose to be defenseless. We choose to be vulnerable before the lessons taught us by our own mind. That's listening to our inner teacher, or in this case, our inner accuser. We don't beat our breast. We do not punish ourselves. We simply resolve to evolve. Our two antidotes are, number one, the wisdom of letting go, and number two, the recitation of the mantra. If we practice both, not only will we heal those flawed tendencies, but we will evolve profoundly. If there are any questions, now would be a time for other Olaf or Patricia to ask.
I do have a question.
Fire away.
What if you're angry and you really just don't have a problem with it?
That's an excellent question. Olaf, what is your sage-like response to that question?
I think it's okay. If you
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Olaf. That'll be just fine. Okay, my friend Patricia, you are no stranger to this text, and you know that later on in the text we explore the 5 poisons. Can you please remind me what the 5 poisons are?
I know this. Hold on a second. It's greed, hatred, confusion, envy, and pride.
Cool. Envy or jealousy. That's well done. Well done. So, are those called the 5 good things or the 5 poisons?
Those are called the 5 poisons.
Okay, so anger and hate, they're basically synonymous, yes?
Yes.
So, is anger poisonous?
Yes.
All right. The next question is, according to the text, what is the antidote for hate?
It's not love. It's another. Oh, I can't remember.
Okay, it's simple. The antidote for hate is the wisdom of letting go.
Yes, I
When
thought
we
that.
blend hate with the wisdom of letting go, we wind up with the wisdom of, or the mirror-like wisdom. Mirror-like wisdom is an antidote to hate. There's only one antidote. It's a universal antidote, and it is the ultimate bodhicitta of letting go. And if you don't know how to let go, for those of you watching on YouTube, no problem. Just follow along with this video, and by the time you're done, you will. So, there are many people, ironically, who move down the spiritual path propelled by annoyance or fear or hate. They take aversion as their impulse drive. And that's deeply ironic. They're trying to hate their way to nirvana. Doesn't work. So you don't have to hate your own hate. We don't have to be bubbling with self-loathing. We can apply the universal antidote to everything, good, bad, or indifferent. Notice it and relax. and everything will take care of itself. Could that make sense?
Yes, that's what I've been doing.
Okay, so here's the deal. When our mind makes us aware of our anger, we do not try to justify it, rationalize it, minimize it, or fatalize it, or excuse it. We do not castigate ourselves over it. We just notice it and work through it. Working through it does not mean shoving it away. We notice it and relax. And that is very helpful. And in time, it'll walk away on its own. For all thoughts and emotions are eventually impermanent. Please mute your microphone. Let's continue. The mind holding on to man clings to everything. This is the cause of samsara. So as offerings to the exalted in nirvana and charity to the lowly in samsara. Give everything, body, possessions, and virtue, and dedicate the merit to all. Casting all attachments far away, recite the six-syllable mantra. So, from a liberal point of view, the ultimate offering is to use everything in our life, real and imagined, to propel us on our journey on the path. How do we do that? So whatever we notice, whatever circumstance or physical phenomena or intellectual phenomena or interrelational phenomena we notice, we bring into the path of letting go. Doing this cultivates centered spontaneity so that we can use whatever, so that we are able to spontaneously use all that is around us for the benefit of others. Not in a contrived way, not in a scheming way, in a spontaneous way. According to the great Tibetan saint Dzokchen Lingpa, if one just focuses on mindfulness and the wisdom of letting go, everything else will take care of itself, including compassion. Let's move on. The noble teacher as the nature of all Buddhas, and of all Buddhas it is he who is the kindest, seeing the teacher as inseparable from Ratata, with fervent devotion recite the six-syllable mantra. Now, this is a passage all fundamentalists love and all liberals find deeply disturbing, because if this is literal, it's super creepy. But don't worry, the next passage is going to show that it's really figurative. Purifying the obscurations, initiating the practice of the path, and actualizing the four kayas. The essence of the four empowerments is the teacher had taught. If you recognize your own mind as the teacher, all four empowerments are complete. Receiving innate empowerment by yourself, recite the six-syllable mantra. So there you go. This is a wonderful passage which unpacks the previous package and as promised, equates your mind with the teacher. So our mind is a type of teacher. Our mind is like Ratata. Our mind can teach us, not our contrived mind, not our chaotic mind, our centered, spontaneous mind. And it is all the empowerment we require. Let's continue. Samsara is none other than how things appear to you. If you recognize everything is the yidam, the good of others is consummated. Seeing the purity of everything confers of our empowerments are not beings at once. Dredging the depths of samsara recite the six-syllable mantra, as we shall explore during the Togal portion of our mantra meditation. We will explore how our minds are lucid how all minds are lucid yet non-graspable. We shall explore how all communication is resounding yet ungraspable. How each body is sensual yet non-graspable. And how every circumstance is appearing yet non-graspable. That is the key to both our own personal empowerment and that of all others. That is the ultimate empowerment that is made available through this text written by a great saint at the very end of his life, arguably the pinnacle of a lifetime's insight. Let's continue. The mind cannot cope with all the many visualization practices. To meditate on one's Sugata is to meditate on them all. Whatever appears, appearance is all the form of the great compassionate lady. In the realm of the Adam's body, apparent yet would recite the 6-syllable mantra. Fundamentalists busy themselves trying to coerce their minds to see each mind as bodhicitta, to experience each voice as mantra, to literally experience each living being as a Buddha, and every environment as paradise. And it's very rigid, and it causes a great squeezing in one's brain and in one's energy. But the highest liberals see that these are merely metaphors. Simply a metaphor. That our mind is as non-graspable as a syllable tom comprised of light. Our communication is as non-graspable as a mantra composed of light. Our bodies are as non-graspable as Red Tara's body of light. And you guessed it, every circumstance, every environment is as non-graspable as a paradise comprised of light. So where it's really quite funny, where a fundamentalist is grasping at a contrivance, a liberal is relaxing into a metaphor of universal non-graspability. And so, let's continue. And now, this is the passage I referred to earlier on. Recitations, sadhanas, and powerful spells, orgies, complications. The all-inclusive 6-syllable mantra is the very sound of the Dharma. All sounds have never been other than the speech of sublime Retara. Recognizing them as mantra resounding, it would recite the 6-syllable mantra. So this is a pattern we keep seeing. Resounding, yet void, appearing, yet void, sensual, yet void, lucid, yet void, fragrant, yet void, savory, yet void. So the first word describes what we notice, and the final word, the third word, describes letting go. So I talked about love and letting go. If you wanted to, you could describe it in the 3 L's: looking, letting go, and loving. So looking is just a sloppy way of saying noticing. But it's tough to find a synonym for noticing that begins like L. If you can think of one, don't be shy, write it below in the comment section of YouTube. By the way, so about 10 years ago, roughly, more than that, I wanted to get away from the sadhana and just move to practicing this idealistic way I described here. It took me a very long time to learn how to do that, or to receive instructions on how to do that skillfully and effectively. I'm very excited to share those instructions with you. Let's continue. As thoughts and the two obscurations of pacified experience and realization increase, as your perceptions come under control, enemies and obstructing influences are subjugated. It is Ratada who bestows on this very life the supreme and common cities. As the four activities are accomplished by themselves without the six-syllable mantra. Many fundamentalists are taught that there are specific practices and mantras one must recite to cultivate each of the four mundane supernatural powers. We're told here that, hey, this one-stop shop, and just stick with Red Tata, just stick with her six-level mantra and you'll get them. And oh yeah, by the way, remember, your centered spontaneous mind is Red Tata. Work with your centered spontaneous mind, and the attainments will take care of themselves. That's right, you get to be the Buddhist version of Dr. Strange. Offer the totem of whatever arises to the guests of immediate liberation. Mold the clay of whatever appears into the tata of wood appearance. Offer the prostration of non-duality to the Lord of my nature. Contemplating these dharma activities, recite the six-syllable mantra. So in this radical passage, we're being told that all the tenets, all the trappings of fundamentalist tantric Buddhism are but shadows. And the ultimate offering, the ultimate prostration, is simply practicing mindfulness and the insight of letting go in harmony with a recitation of the six-syllable mantra. That's the ultimate offerings, the ultimate purification, the ultimate devotion. Let's continue. Overcome your enemy hatred with a weapon of love. Protect your family, the beings of the six realms, with the skillful means of compassion. All this from the field of devotion, the crop of experience and realization. Consummating your last work, recite the six-syllable mantra. Cremate that old corpse of clinging to things as real in the fire of non-attachment. Conduct the weekly funeral ceremonies of ordinary life by practicing the essence of Dharma. As a smoke offering to provide for the departed, rededicate your accumulated merit for all the future lives. Consummating all positive actions done for the sake of the dead, recite the six-syllable mantra. Put your child devotion at the doorway of your practice. Give your son renunciation, mastery over the household of ordinary life. Wed your daughter compassion to the bridegroom of the three worlds. Consummating your duty to the living, recite the six-syllable mantra. Practicing this path is the key to ultimately fulfilling all of life's apparent obligations. Whatever appears is delusion and is no true existence. Samsara and nirvana are just thoughts and nothing more. If you can liberate thoughts as they arise, that includes all the stages of the path. Applying the essential instruction for liberating thoughts, recite the six-syllable mantra. This is the key. Noticing what we're experiencing, letting go of what we're experiencing, in harmony with our mantra meditation is the quick path to full enlightenment. Your own mind aware and void inseparably as Dharmakaya. Leave everything as it is in fundamental simplicity, and clarity will arise by itself. Only by doing nothing will you do all there is to be done. Leaving everything in naked void awareness, recite the six-syllable mantra. Many monks and nuns and lay practitioners have lost their way trying to coerce their brains to a place of single-pointed concentration. Ironically, if we just persist in noticing and relaxing in harmony with multiple meditation, clarity will take care of itself. We do not have to contrive it. And furthermore, everything will take care of itself, neither by acting chaotically like a loose cannon or in a contrived way, like an obsessive compulsive with a type A personality or vice versa, but by walking in a state of perpetual center spontaneity. Everything will take care of itself in the most wonderful way. Let stillness cut the momentum of moving thoughts. Within movement see the very nature of stillness. Where stillness and movement are one, maintain the natural mind. In the experience of one pointedness, recite the 6-syllable mantra. We might search for stillness and find movement, but they both share the same nature, that of ultimate non-graspability. So don't worry about it. By examining relative truth, establish absolute truth. Within absolute truth, see a relative truth arises. Whether two truths are inseparable beyond intellect is a state of simplicity. In the view of all elaboration, recite the 6-syllable mantra. When something comes up in meditation, our job is not to fix a problem. Our job is not to minimize, rationalize, or fatalize our feelings towards that problem. Our job is to notice it and relax. It may persist for a second, it may persist for an hour. That's not our job. Our job is to notice and relax, and everything else will take care of itself. From appearances cut away the clinging of mind. From mind demolish the layer of fictitious appearances. Where mind and appearances are one is infinite openness. In the realization of one taste, recite the 6-syllable mantra. The whole treasure of the enlightened ones, the practice of the meditation and action. Ages goes virtuous in the beginning, middle, and end. Tadi so all may all beings benefit. I'm going to take a moment to jot this down in my notes, so next week we shall begin our chanting on this page. A moment, if you please. Excellent. I'm going to take a moment to adjust my legs. Okay, here we go. A simple prayer of universal compassion. Now technically it's not necessary, but I like to put it here as an antidote to confusion. May each bring practice, let's chant this using the triplet chant. May each bring practice read, Tada's path of bringing mindfulness, insight, as well as love into our experience of mind, communication, body, and circumstance. That's our entire path. How do we do that? We'll find out right now. Now, Because during a mantra variation, I do not want to create any confusion for returning students. So we're going to do something kind of elementary and review this version of the mantra syllable by syllable. So our first 7 exercises will be pertaining to our mind. And we are going to bring our mindfulness, insight, and love into our experience of mind. On the in-breath, let us silently and, whoopsie, where's my mala? There it is. Okay, please, if you have a mala, please count your mala right now with your left middle finger. What mindset am I now experiencing? Our job is not to do deep breathing exercises. Our job is not to sing like an opera singer. Our job is to, on the in-breath, ask a rhetorical question silently and mentally, and our out-breath to relax into the recitation. Now that is the key to letting go. For my friends, I tell you truthfully, where the body goes, the emotions follow. And where the emotions go, the mind follows. How do we let go with our emotions and our mind? By relaxing with our body. How can my mind be lucid, yet as non-graspable as wise Tom of light? Tom simply being a symbol of enlightened mind, a symbol of the pinnacle of looking, loving, and letting go. How could I relax into the awareness of my mind? So those were 3 exercises dealing with wisdom. Now 4 exercises dealing with love. May my mind now be as peaceful as wise Tom mind. Folks, love is as easy as wishing people, even ourselves, good things. May the mind of each being of this place now be as peaceful as wise Tom mind. So may the mind of each being of this world now be as peaceful as wise Tom mind. May the mind of each being of each world now be as peaceful as wise Tom mind. And folks, if you practice this every morning and every evening, within a month, you will probably memorize it. And that'll make it even easier to practice. What could I cling to if each world and its beings blissfully melted into rainbow lights that now absorbed into my world? In these next 6 exercises, we symbolically explore the futility of grasping. And if you're as geeky as me, you can't use the word futile without thinking about the Borg. What could I cling to if my world and its beings blissfully melted into rainbow light that now absorbed into my place? Om Dare. What could I cling to if my place in its beings blissfully melted into rainbow light and now absorbed into my body? Om Dare Dam. What could I cling to if my body blissfully melted into light that now absorbed into my mind? Om Dare Dam Zo. What could I cling to if my mind blissfully melted into rainbow lights that now absorbed into empty space? Om Dare Dam Zoha. What could I cling to if I now experienced infinite openness? Om Dare Dam Zoha. And now we're just going to cruise with this meditation for about an eighth of a mala. How relax into the awareness of this. Om Dare Dam Zoha. 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 Having completed a quarter mala, please count your mala using your right index finger while simultaneously touching your left index finger to its thumb. We're now going to spend 7 exercising working with communication. First, mindfulness. What communication am I now experiencing? Om Dare Dam Zoha. How could my communication be resounding, yet as non-graspable as a mantra of light? Om Dare Dam Zoha. Remember, it is not our job to answer these questions, but rather to ask them and then relax. How could I relax into the awareness of my communication? Om Dare Dam Zoha. May my communication now be as ideal as mantra speech. And now we begin the first 4 love exercises. Om Dare Dam Zoha. May my communication, let's try this again. May the communication of each being of this place now be as ideal as mantra speech. Om Dare Dam Zoha. Imagine how many fewer arguments there would be if all our communication was that ideal. May the communication of each being of this world now be as ideal as mantra speech. Om Dare Dam Zoha. May the communication of each being of each world now be as ideal as mantra speech. Om Dare Nam Zoha. What could I cling to if each world and its beings blissfully melted into rainbow lights that now absorbed into my world? Om Dare Nam Zoha. Relax so much during the mantra that it feels as if your body is dissolving into light. What could I cling to if my world and its beings blissfully melted into rainbow light that now absorbed into my place? Om Dare Nam Zoha. What could I cling to if my place in its beings blissfully melted into rainbow light that now absorbed into my body? Om Dare What could I cling to if my body blissfully melted into rainbow lights that now absorbed into my mind? Om Nare Nam Zoha. What could I cling to if my mind blissfully melted into rainbow light that now absorbed into empty space? Om Nare Nam Zoha. While intoning the mantra softly, it's okay if the corners of one's mouth gently tug up into a subtle smile. What could I cling to if I now experienced infinite openness? Om Nare Nam Zoha. How relax into the awareness of this. And this is the border between the contrived exercises we just did, what is it, about 13 contrived exercises, to spontaneous exercises, where this is whatever comes up, whatever we notice, pleasurable or painful, real or imagined, external or internal. Om Nare Nam Zoha. 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 If you're feeling boredom, just notice the boredom and relax into it. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. In Tibet, this exercise is known as treksha, which can be translated cryptically as slicing through, or cutting through, or chopping through. I prefer it as by its nickname known as resting in the nature of mind. Please now count your mala upon your right ring finger while disengaging the digits of your left hand. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. If thoughts of dissatisfaction or jumping or arcing across your mind, such as satisfaction with one's domicile, notice that dissatisfaction and relax. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. If thoughts of desire for a superior place to live are arcing across your mind, simply notice them, then relax. Om Nare Nam Zoha. 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 It is not our job to shove away feelings of dissatisfaction or the object of our dissatisfaction. It's not our job to cling to that which we desire. There's a universal response to all that occurs. Notice and relax. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. It is not our job to bend others to our will, either by threats of physical violence or the subtle verbal violence of persuasion. Let us respect the autonomy of others. Om Nare Nam Zoha. 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 It is this mistake to confuse noticing and letting go with apathy. Clearly, we are not apathetic when we see hate. We just choose to work with it in a non-grasping, non-hysterical, non-neurotic manner. Om Nare Nam Zoha. 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 Please count your ma upon your left little finger while simultaneously disengaging the digits of your right hand. Nare Nam Zoha. 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 Nare Nam If you feel even the tiniest bit drowsy, I recommend you open your eyes. For the purpose of meditation is to confront reality, not hide from it. Om Nare Nam Zoha. 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 Let us now count an eighth of a mala upon our right middle finger, while simultaneously touching our left middle finger to its thumb. Om Nare Nam Zoha. In fact, let's set our mala aside, because I'm trying to keep these classes between 75 to 90 minutes. Let's just touch each middle finger to its thumb. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Let us touch the tip of our right index finger to our thumb and disengage the fingers of our left hand. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Let us touch the tip of our left ring finger to its thumb while disengaging the digits of our right hand. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Please touch the tip of each little finger to its thumb. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Let us touch the tip of our right middle finger to its thumb while disengaging the digits of our left hand. Om Nare Nam Zoha. Om Nare Nam Zoha. us touch the tip of our left index finger to its thumb while disengaging the digits of our right hand. Om Nare Tam Soha. Om Nare Tam Soha. Om Nare Tam Soha. Let us touch the tip of each ring finger to its thumb. Om Nare Tam Soha. Om Nare Tam Soha. Om Nare Tam Soha. And let us conclude by touching the tip of our right little finger to its thumb while disengaging the digits of our left hand. Om Nare Tam Soha. Om Nare Tam Soha. Om Nare Tam Soha. We're now going to conclude with a statement of intention. They each being accomplished, and we're going to use the triplet chant. May each being accomplish Red Tara's path of bringing mindfulness, insight, as well as love into our experience of mind, communication, body, and circumstance. What is the difference between practicing a path and accomplishing? Well, when we accomplish a path, we're able to practice it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. That is the conclusion of today's class. If you have any questions, please write them out in great detail in the comment area below, also known as the doodly-doo. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Bye-bye now.